They can't stand to see people getting their value from within. Like, you know how many white people have asked why are like, they've literally, I've seen it in the comments, I've seen it in videos of white people saying, black people, like, how do you get your joy? Like, how are you so happy? Like, why, like we know that we've oppressed you for all this time. How do you still stand up and smile and dance? Like, they want us, and that's not to say that they want us to, well, some of them certainly want us to, like, not be happy. But even the ones who do not actively try to make sure we're not happy, they feel like we should be unhappy. And so they ask, why are you so happy? And that's because they themselves have been trained and brought up to think that their happiness comes from external validation. Y'all, that is what it is. Because white American culture is very consumerist. It is very, you get your value from having the biggest house. You get your value from having the hottest husband and the prettiest woman. You get your value from having the most, the highest paying job. You get your value from having the highest net worth. That is literally how a lot of white Americans define their value, is if I have this external indicator that everyone else can see that says I am worthy. The higher that number on the stock ticker for them, that is the higher their value. And when that is where your value comes from, you will always look at people who are poor or people who have no money and be like, why are you smiling? And it's just like, because my value does not come from some artificial number on a board that someone else made up. Like, what? That is crazy. But another thing is, when you have the mentality of my value comes from things outside of me, you have the mentality that everyone else has that same mentality. And so so then it becomes a whole lot of projection. It becomes a whole lot of projection of, like, I would be insecure if I were in your place, so why aren't you insecure? Like, it's just like, so the projection starts, and it's like, and that makes them mad as well, because they just expect you to think like them. And it's like, absolutely not. Hustle culture is one of the external validation traps. It sure is. And that goes into, y'all, don't let me get on my history box. Because the Black Panthers, y'all, they were very anti-capitalism, very communist, pro everyone working.
I need some black joy. The fact that black joy even exists as a concept in the world is miraculous to me. Asians are no good at joy. We are good at working hard and being diligent and doing our best, but not joy. Colonizers too. Rich lives, no joy. We should never have hooked our stars to theirs. But black people, especially black Americans, are the best at joy. You've turned it into an art form. I know it came from terrible hardship that you've turned into soul and then into joy. And we, Chinese people, we just turn that hardship into more hard work. But I know you can't give it to us. We have to go out and earn it for ourselves, just like you did. Joy is a puzzle for every human being, and it's not free. When I ask my black friends where their joy comes from, they inevitably shake their heads and just repeat, you can't let them take it away from you. That's what it's not. But what is black joy? Can you tell me?
All right, racists, let's talk about your distaste for black joy. Racist America fumes at the sight of happiness, especially when that person smiling is black. It's as if this country specializes in anger Olympics. Being a little too happy disturbs the patriotism. 3 or more laughs in one place is like being investigated by a mall cop. I'm gonna need to see some ID. Because deep down, they believe that pain is the only state that black indigenous people are allowed to live in. Black people start laughing too loud at their cousin's cookout. They throw on some Frankie Beverly. They start dancing with their auntie in a sundress while the ribs are sizzling. Instantly, their lives are in danger. It's like watching a perfect example of a case study on people who have a problem with control. It's like their obsession isn't just with control, it's like with the optics of it as well. They want to be seen as dominant in the space, because they seem to disappear when there is black joy. When you throw your graduation cap in the air, surrounded by your entire family in matching t-shirts, they don't see achievement, they see defiance. Because in their minds, success was never black people's storyline. The truth is, black joy is a glitch in the racist lies that they feed themselves. They built a whole myth of superiority that only works if you're miserable, delusional, insecure, jealous, and mediocre. When black people shift the world with their joy and laughter, the racist's entire self-image starts to crack. This is why racists gatekeep golf courses, ban urban dress codes, side-eye loud laughter, and call the cops when the music's just a little too bassy. The unnecessary hate and determination to ruin black people's happiness is a disease, a brain-eating amoeba that siphons the cognition out of America's privileged society. And what hurts the most is that happiness and black joy is...
I think white people are so triggered by black joy because they have zero control over it. And white people are all about control. And anything they don't get to control and manage and dictate freaks them the hell out.
Where do the blacks get joy? Where do the black get joy? And this is a question that the white Americans are asking themselves. This is the question that the people are asking with no answer because they're living in the same country. They're living under the same regime. They're living under the same system. And they're facing the same challenge, the same problem. So why do the blacks are not showing the way they're suffering? They're not coming out to complain. They're not coming out to cry out over the whole situation. While the people who have been living a better life are the people who are coming out to complain day and night. Now, living under so much comfort can make you suffer at once, can cause you a problem, can make you to face a challenge that you never expected. And this is what is happening today in the country of America to the white Americans, because they have been used to live under the privilege. They've been used to live under the white supremacists, which cared for them so much, which provided for them, which protected them. And again, at the same time, today, the same system is what they are feeling like is betraying them, because we have majority of white Americans today who don't have job. We have majority of white Americans who are dying due to lack of medical cover, insurance covers, and everything. They are not able to afford for medication. We are having many who are not able to pay for basic needs, like rent, gas, groceries, and everything, like basic needs in general. So they're so confused how the black people are living in this country while they're not showing the interest of the way they are showing, while they are like it's like they're pretending like all is well, maybe, but the people are not pretending. These people are not pretending, because what you are facing today, what you are feeling today, like you are being pissed off, this is the same the way the black has been living or feeling centuries over centuries. It has not started today, but it started hundreds of years ago. Since the time of slavery, the blacks never know peace. They never find joy. They never find peace until the time they learned on how to depend on themselves, how to benefit, to protect for themselves, how to live knowing that you are on your own. Nobody was there. Nobody was there to fight for you, to protect you, or address your issues. So that's the kind of the life the blacks has been living in the country of America and in diaspora in general. Now, today, all that is happening is something that it was projected or predicted or prophesied many years ago, because the blacks who are enslaved in the country of America, who contributed hugely in the building of this great empire, who built this great White House today, which the white man is sitting in and making policies, passing bills and laws, which are only made to offend and oppress the other people, the black people, despite their effort, the effort that their forefathers contributed or put in building this great city. They're still being denied access, denied opportunities, denied justice and everything. They prophesied and they believed that their freedom will come. Their death will not be in vain. Their generation will one day get the freedom, and one day their enslaved generation will go back to where they belong, will go back to where it belongs to them, to where it made them, which is Africa. And that is what we are experiencing today. We have experienced massive number of the African Americans who have located back here in Africa. And they are not only coming, but they are locating. They are not going out of America for vacation, but they are living for good. So all that's happening today, we have many people, we have many who are still living in the country of America, who are still struggling, and yet not struggling, but they're just pushing to survive, to live. There are some who are moving out. So we have different types of people who are making the different decisions. For those who are making the decision to live in this country, they are living, believing that they are able to manage any situation that comes in. That's why today you are not seeing them coming out to complain, which is making other people uncomfortable, feeling like the blacks are not suffering. You have to know that you are living in the same country, under the same government, under the same system that you voted for. The system that you voted for is for segregation. You voted for Second Amendment gun rights. You voted for tariffs. We have seen many black Americans who have been killed in the countries, in the streets of America, in the streets of Miami, Florida, and all these streets, without any crime they committed.
Same gun right. And take an example, how many black people have been killed in this country? How many have been killed, have been jailed, have been harassed and discriminated without any reason to do so? But nobody came out to address this. We have seen many students from different universities in the country of America who have been found dead, hanging out on the streets. But the government never put cautions on these issues. It's like they assume and put it like nothing happened. But when something happens to the white Americans, even in a single day, it brought out a different reactions. So all that you have been doing towards different people, towards the people of color, you've never felt like it's something good, something big, or something that is oppressing or making other people uncomfortable. But when the same happens to you, you feel that much pain. And today, the people that you've been targeting always, because even the time of voting, you turned out a large number to vote because you're voting targeting other people. Not because you love them, your people, you loved your person, but you are voting in large number just to make sure that you are going to vote against the black people so that you can get the best reason to oppress them. But again, what you voted for is now what is oppressing you, is now what is giving you a headache every time. So the blacks, the system of America, the white system made the black to adapt to a certain life that the white cannot adapt, cannot live. Because this kind of life is only for the people who are hard to survive, but not for the people who have used the soft life, who have used to be delivered, to be treated, to be protected. So that's the difference. That's the difference. And I don't think if the white can go and live the life of the black Americans because or the blacks, because this kind of life that they have been used to live, nobody else can survive to can make it or can make to live it. So all despite oppression, there's still joy. And being oppressed doesn't mean that you'll always be coming out crying to complain. But due to that oppression, despite all, you still can be able to find your joy, find your peace, and live the life that you want. And maybe being privileged, still it doesn't mean that you can't face the problem. And that's how the whites were made to believe that being privileged is all about the best things, and being oppressed is always meant for the problems, and that's how they believe, which today is making them uncomfortable for wherever they are. It's making them uncomfortable for wherever they are, because they never knew if this is how it meant. Despite being oppressed, and the blacks, so I can say that the blacks have made differently, because in this process of being oppressed, that's when they find a way to save themselves. Because even we come here in Africa, all the countries who were oppressed, who were taken over, and many killings like genocide and everything, the blacks of those countries took that advantages. They took that reasons as to make them stronger. They took that incidents to use them to strengthen themselves and to build up themselves. Because today the country like Rwanda has been built from the genocides. The country like Congo is still building itself driving, finding a way on how to come out of those problems and make their people to forget all that happened through that oppression and genocide. So the blacks were meant to survive and wake up from all that they are passing through, all the bad incidents that finds them, that face them. They use that as a reason to awaken themselves and build themselves and recover all that has taken out of them. So that's why I always say, or I said earlier, that no white can live the life that the black that the black are living, because through this that you are watching, or you are only seeing joy, peace inside, or deeper in it. There is a lot that these people have been quiet of it, suffering, but still pushing to survive and pushing to move on. So being oppressed does not mean that you will suffer forever. And being privileged does not mean that you will always forever enjoy. That's a problem. That's a difference. So I don't know about you. I'm talking about the blacks. Where we came from. Just give us your perspective. Give us your ideas. Let's speak. Let's